I am Baldwin Burgess. I'm here with Sonia Medina.
Hello.
¿Cómo estás?
Muy bien, gracias.
Muy bien. Sonia is from Spain, and welcome to the FundForum. We're at the
Thank you.
FundForum International in Monaco. It's 2013, and Sonia is here to talk a little bit about what you're doing with the Children's Fund Investment Foundation. Did I say that right?
Children's Investment Fund Foundation.
I thought I did
Safe.
something wrong. So Children's Investment Fund Foundation. It's kind of nice to have people like Sonia here because we don't usually have people who are on the more, let's say, I'm not going to say you're not in charity, but you're really in impact investing. It's an interesting story because it's a hedge fund that actually decided to do something with that revenue and put that to work in a good way. So you're the living example that you can do something really good and also make money, right?
Exactly, yes.
Tell us about that.
Yeah, so about 10 years ago, a husband and a wife decided that they wanted to put together a hedge fund together with a foundation. So a percentage of the profits of the hedge fund come to the endowment of the foundation. And over the last 10 years, the foundation has become one of the largest in Europe with $4 billion in the endowment. And we work primarily on children's issues and on climate change.
Right.
So it's very exciting.
Well, those are two key things. But you also approach this as the impact that you make with your investments it's a very accountable way of investing. Is that right?
Correct.
It's not the typical sort of like, oh, we're just going to do this and then feel good about it. No, I think you get really hands-on and in depth and all that.
Yeah,
Right?
I mean, it's not impact investment in the sense that the return that we seek is not monetary returns, it's not a market-based return, but the return that we seek is a human capital return with a very market-based mentality. We measure absolutely everything in our investments, and we call it investments for a reason. We don't call them grants, we don't call them gifts, and it is because before the engagement with the program and after, we are completely engaged measures with KPIs, we do course corrections, we have quarterly reports. So it's a very financial mentality, if you wish, the way that we approach our grants, our investments.
Can you give us a couple of examples of investments that you're doing at the moment, just to give people an idea of what that exactly looks like?
Yeah, so for example, on the climate side, we primarily work in Europe, China, and Latin America.
Right.
So, for example, in Europe, we believe that it's necessary for policymakers to raise the ambition to know what certain policies could look like and what is the impact that they're going to have in the economy. So, we did backcasting modeling. So of what the world should look like in 2050 and then bring it backwards to today. And that we have called the Roadmap 2050.
Okay.
And that Roadmap 2050 has now become backbone of policy making in Europe. So a lot of the renewable energy policies that we currently have in Europe become possible because you have a Roadmap 2050 and which we financed. Another example, we are working with 13 mayors in China.
Right.
In a program we call China Sustainable Cities, where we are implementing and disseminating sustainable urban planning processes. Again, because as you work in mega cities, it's very important that they develop in a way that they look more like Copenhagen and not so much like Houston, because people want to walk to buy a loaf of bread and rather than having to drive. And if the mega cities develop in a way that is very intensive carbon-wise and resource-wise, then you're locking greenhouse emissions for a very, very long time, almost hundreds of years.
Okay, well, thanks for that. You see, another example of something very interesting going on at the FundForum International, it goes beyond fund management. It's actually investments and the impact we can have on the world. So thanks, Sonia, that was really interesting.
Thank you so much.